Okay, so this is 7.5 elimination strategy. This is a word problem that we need to come up with equations for. The question was asked, how do we go about doing that? So I want you to notice in most of these questions where you have to generate the equations, there are a few important things that you need to look for. Okay? So we know that we're going to need two equations, right? Two equations. We know we're going to need that. And if you look, there will be in this question indication of what those two equations should look like. So the first sentence usually indicates a lot of information about the first equation. It usually does. So in that first sentence it says a co-op sells organic food made 25 kilograms of soup mix. Okay? By combining what? Green peas and lentils. So 25 kilograms composed of two things. There's your first equation. How do you know what the variables are going to equal? Usually somewhere near the end of the question, it says this: what is the mass of peas and the mass of lentils? So that's the question. And so whatever you're looking for in the question, those are the variables. Okay? So this, it's pretty straightforward. So let's make peas, P, equal the mass of peas. Okay? And let's make L, let's do a written L, the mass of lentils. Okay? So that's where you want to start. You want to look at, and now the third part is, what's the second equation? Well, there's a cost involved. $5 per kilogram of lentils, $6.50 per kilogram. Peas are $5, lentils are $6.50. The total is $1.40. So we have a money equation right here. Okay, this is the money equation. And this right here, 25 kilograms of soup mix. That's the other one. Okay, so your equations are going to be a really simple one. Usually it's just a numbers of things. So the mass of peas plus the mass of lentils. How much is that going to equal from our very first sentence? 25, right? You don't have to put your units in there because the units are the same throughout the question. See, kilograms here, per kilogram, mass is going to be in kilograms. So you don't have to write your units there. Okay, so the second one, again, this is the second one. It's the money one. Okay, so you're going to have a cost per, a mass of peas, and a cost for mass of lentils equals a total cost. So the next one is going to be the cost equation. And green peas cost $5 per kilogram. So the P is going to be the mass of peas, and obviously that's going to be in kilograms because the whole question is in kilograms. So we really have 5P plus what? Tell me what's next. 6.5 or $6.50, right? L, lentils cost that much, equals $140. Good. Okay. Now, if you want to put dollars in there, that's totally fine. You don't really have to. You know that at the end, when we solve for P and L, it's going to be mass of peas and mass of lentils. Okay? So I set that up okay? You guys all right with that so far? Does that answer your question about the equations? Okay? So usually first sentence is first equation, second sentence, second equation. The last sentence, when it asks you for what you're supposed to find in the question, those are the variables. So most of them are pretty predictable like that. Okay? So if you look for those three parts, you'll be good. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this up. See if you did this right. So we're going to do elimination, and I see that if I add the P's together, they aren't going to be eliminated right now, and the L's, they're not going to be eliminated either. What should I multiply the first equation by? That's going to be my easiest. Sorry? -5, yes. -5. So it's going to be -5P, that's going to be -5L, and that's going to be -5 times 25. So let's just write that up. We got -5P minus 5L equals 125. -125. Okay? So this first equation is changed into this one. Okay? Does that look good for everybody? All right, then we'll add to eliminate. So these are gone. 6.5 minus 5 is positive 1.5L. 140 minus 125 is 15. Divide by 1.5. L equals 10. That look good? L equals 10. Who got L equals 10? Good. And so we plug this 10 value into one of the original equations. And of course, P plus L equals 25. That was one of our original equations. So let's go P plus 10 now equals 25. And of course, P is 15. You can check that out. And obviously, 10 plus 15 is 25. So let's check the other one. 5 times 15. That's the second equation. Plus 6.5 times 10 should equal 140. So let's see if that works. What's 5 times 15? Yeah, that's good. Without your calculator, you can do this a couple ways. 5 times 10. Look at 10. 5 times 10 is 50. And then 5 times 5 is 25. So 50 plus 25, 75. Times 10 is easy. Just move the decimal place over 1. So that's 65 is 140. And of course, 70 and 60 is 130. And 5 and 5 is 10. So 130 plus 10, 140. Okay? So if you can do some of this stuff in your head, mental math, it saves you some time. If you're unsure, please use your calculator. So there's your answer. Now it's a word question, so what you probably want to do at the very end, you really ought to do, is don't leave it like this. You need to write a little bit of a word sentence. So in this question, it says what was the mass of peas? So you could say mass of peas is 15 kilograms. Mass of lentils is 10 kilograms. And then circle it. So make sure that it's very clear with a word sentence if it's a word problem. Okay. Also, please remember to include your units. Don't say mass is 15, mass is 10. Okay. Mass of peas, 15 kilograms. Okay. Just be very clear there. Okay. Any other questions about 17 there? Cool. Okay, so take a moment to do number 16, and I'll show you the answer in a few minutes. Give that one a try. Okay, so let me show you the worked out solution for number 16 here. So the question says, which ticket is more expensive? So if you're wondering, what to set your variables to, remember, whatever the question is asking, that's what you want to set your variables to. Which one is more expensive? So we're looking for ticket price, okay? Not the number of adults, but the ticket price for an adult. So A, I set to adult price, and C to children's price, okay? So the first equation here, this is all my work, so we'll try and identify the first equation, was 1 adult plus 3 children equals 27.75. So that's here, 1 adult plus 3 children, 27.75. The next equation was 2 adults and 2 children, pay 27.50. The 2A and 2C equals 27.50. I rearranged, or I manipulated the first equation by multiplying everything by -2 to get this equation down here. And once I added them, the A's canceled out, and you can see there's the children's price, and then you plug that $7 into one of the original equations, and you get an adult price of $6.75. So it's a bit strange that adults are worth less than children, but I guess this might be it's a children's museum, so I guess it's for children. So of course you'd finish off with a word sentence of some sort, including the values and the answer to the question. So if you just said children's ticket $7, adults ticket $6.75, you'd have to look back to that question, because it says which ticket is more expensive. So you have to clearly state the answer to the stated question. Okay? Now I know that maybe seems picky, but I'm trying to train you, right, into being good students. So don't just say C equals 7, A equals 6.75, move on. What is the question asking, right? Which one is more expensive? So make sure you address that question in your answer. Okay? So that's something that a lot of students, they don't think about. They just do the question like they did all the other questions and think it's okay. But sometimes the questions ask a slightly different question. So yeah, that's why I said the child's ticket is more expensive. I also included what that value was. And of course, I'm showing all my work and my reasoning for giving that. Then the adult ticket, and I showed what that was too. So this is a very complete answer. This would be absolute full marks. There's nothing left to the imagination here for your teacher when you do it this way. Just show all your work, state your question, or state the answer, circled, and that's it. So how many of you got those values? Good job. Okay, very good. Okay, so that's 16.